for 5-all.
Well, Ivanisevic temporarily to pieces, but his serve can soon put him back on track, of course.
Well, it is extraordinary. Korda looked dead and buried, frankly, at 1-4, love 40. And now he's got a great chance of winning, indeed, unless Ivanisevic does get his brain in gear again and his game. You've got to say that Korda's going to win this match. Five all, final set. It will be a tiebreak if it goes to 6-all, of course.
Well, suddenly a bit of despair. He pulled his serving together at Wimbledon. Prior to that, really, his second serve had gone to the dogs.
Oh, dear me.
Holy smoke.
And Ivanisevic's special comes back with interest.
116 miles of left-handed swing.
And Korda's suddenly inspired. And that's, what, 8 points in a row?
Plus.
Well played, Ivanisevic. As Korda threw everything into that service return.
15-40.
Not the greatest of volleys, but a good low volley, and then just lifted a bit by Korda. And now, of course, he wants the same ball if he can possibly get his hands on it.
30 seconds.
Sensational point, and Peter Korda breaks, and now he'll serve for the match. Magical stuff. Well, Ivanisevic must wonder what on earth's going on out there, but what a point.
Well, I'm sure both of them saw their whole tennis careers played out in front of them during the course of this rally. I started counting at one stage, 34 strokes I made it. And of course the point was that Korda actually held back initially until he'd won the point, and then he let all hell break loose. Wonderful. Ivanisevic, generally in those situations, is a very clever character because he can just steer the ball back. He likes that slice backhand and loves to test himself with long rallies. And what I so much liked about it was the fact that Korda was much more restrained than he usually is. Normally he likes firing very early off in a rally, and yet he played along with Ivanisevic, and it was more likely Korda who was going to take the ultimate risk, and it was either going to be a winner or a loser.
Well, Goran Ivanisevic at one stage leading 4-1 and love 40 on the Korda serve in this set. He's had match point, but now it's Korda who's serving for the match.
Well, I think Korda's got a bit of a string going, and Ivanisevic, of course, has got a mental string that I think has gone, and I think part of it was too much discussion with the umpire.
Oh, and Korda's done his knee.
Well, I think we'll find that as he hit that smash, the racket came through and collected his knee. We've all done that, and sometimes you hit the funny bone, and of course we know it's not funny.
Got the line judge as well. Ooh.
It's very painful.
Of course, have given him 2 match points. Oh, and what a way to finish it off. Peter Korda back from the dead, frankly, in that set. 1-4, love 40, all over, thank you very much. Oh, no, it wasn't. Korda comes back, saves match point in the process, and wins it 5-7, 6-4, 7-5 to reach the quarters. And he's giving us a quarter jig, if only a mini jig.
Yes, I don't think he can jig much more because I think his knees or his legs hurting a bit too much. But it was a Lazarus effort really by Korda, with a little bit of help from a ragged, temperamentally ragged Ivanisevic. But perhaps it's the inspiration that we need for Korda, because he really hasn't reproduced anything like the Australian form up until the last few points of this match against Ivanisevic. Let's hope he can keep it up.
So he's through to the quarters. We will have live coverage of 2 quarterfinals for you.
Liked. But each time he's kept the ball low, and yet Rafter's made good backhand volleys.
Oh, exquisite.
Well, Well, he delayed his attack, but then played a real skimmer here, almost as if the ball was tripping its way across the water.
And that wasn't the stone, that was the arrow, or the bullet, straight as a die.
And he had to do a bit of contortion of the body here, Korda. It wasn't all straightforward. You see, he was jammed a little bit and did well to hold himself together.
Set point for Rafter. A set of high quality, 42 minutes, decided by one break of serve.
Yes, and certainly not the sort of play we would have seen had Ivanisevic been out here instead of Korda, and really, frankly, he should have been 2 breaks up on Korda, and yet only 2 aces in the match so far, 1 each.
Yeah, that's his problem. He hasn't been doing enough of those, has he? Well, Steve Ulrich being asked something by Pat Rafter, I'm not sure what. Simon, this change of ends, no break, and highlights and stats, please.
Quite an anomaly that Korda should be wearing the Australian clothing. Kangaroo on the breast.
Well, Korda's having a long look at that and a long think. And is that really in? Let's have a look. Outside edge, if anything.
Yes, call for the 3rd umpire.
Yes.
And even he would be in doubt, I think. Well, I suppose in cricket, when you're in doubt, it's not out, so it should be therefore be in.
Oh no. Well, he's won the last 3 games, Rafter, and here's a chance to really get this match by the scruff of the neck. lifted those last 2 points. Korda maybe thinking about that call. And Patrick Rafter moves a break ahead right at the start of the second set. But let's look back on the highlights of the first with Fru McMillan.
Well, there was some terrific all-round play. Not as much net play as from Rafter as we had expected. Korda having to take the net from him, and precisely perhaps because of that, Rafter didn't come in as often in those flat shots. And of course, Korda's got the game. He can slice as well, and Rafter using his skill to bring Korda in, give himself a target so that he can then pass. And Rafter mixing his serves up a lot, showing really a lot of his Toronto form behind some very, very solid volleying, particularly on the backhand side, not to mention one of the half volleys there, one of the shots of the first set.
And that was when he got the vital break. And these the first set statistics. So again, Rafter well above his average in terms of first serve percentage, and that's so crucial against a man like Korda who can take advantage of second serves. And just a few unforced errors, a few fewer unforced errors from Rafter. And now, of course, with the break right at the start of the second set, things looking really good for Patrick Rafter, who's seeking his 8th successive win, having won in Toronto last week. And as he looks forward to defending his US Open title, he will be in a really buoyant mood, Patrick Rafter. Rafter a set up and a game up and serving.
Change of gear for Korda, headgear that is. He also needs to step it up a gear or two. Really don't want Rafter getting too far ahead, although it has to be said that Korda was down and out yesterday against Ivanisevic in the third set.
Yeah, in top left, this guy with green polo shirts. Just to his right, our left, as we look at his course colour. Well, Rafter suddenly racing away with this. Yeah, it's the guy next to him on his right, our left, as we look at.
After having a look at him, but just a nod of agreement with the linesman.
The Korda camp in the middle there is Thomas Petterer, Peter's coach, and on his left, our right as we look at it, the fitness coach, Mark Vesticek. I don't know who's munching away at the apple, but it looks very tasty. You had a lovely apple just before we came on air.
a slight mishit there from Rafter. It was almost more grunt and sound than shot itself, but it may have affected Korda. He may have thought it was coming a bit faster than it did.
Well, this really is curtains for Peter Korda, you feel, if he were to lose this next point. But of course, at one stage he was 1-4 love 40 down in the final set against Ivanisevic, so we shouldn't write him off just yet. Used the full width of the court on that second serve. He needed to.
He's certainly wasting a bit of energy with net cords, and I think it's getting to him a bit, muttering away. Well, it's doing an Alex Corretja there. Not often you see Korda miss hit to that extent. Did the racket slip in his hand? Rafter perhaps making the mistake of just not making Korda volley, trying to be ultra physical there. Korda against Ivanisevic saved 10 of 13 break points on his serve.
And that's a key game for Korda, because 2 breaks down against Rafter, I wouldn't have fancied his chances. Staves off the break points, and he's still in the match, but Rafter leads by a set and a break, 2-1.
Who won the Tour de France? For the 1998 Tour de France, Eurosport is giving away lots of presents. Mountain bikes, plus superb Eurosport key rings and caps. Let yourself go. Call now. And good luck.
This Saturday, the posse rides to Aachen in Germany, followed by crowds of up to 80,000 spectators. It's not just the horses who are champing at the bit. The Licher Prize, this Saturday, 1800 CET, 5 UK on Eurosport. With Rico.
Peter Korda in trouble, a set and a breakdown, but he's capable of coming back from there. He's reached the quarterfinals here for only the second time. Let's see how he did it. After a bye in the first round, he took on the South African qualifier, Marcus Ondruska. No problems there for Korda, through in 2 straight sets, 2 and 3. Much harder, though, against Korda and Ivanisevic. Korda dropped the first set, 7-5, won the second 6-4. He was 1-4 and love 40 down. He was match point down, but he came back to win it, 7-5 in the third. Great effort. And I suppose through those are the memories he should have now. Say, I was in dead trouble last match, I came back and won, and no reason I can't do it again.
That's exactly right. This part of Korda's problem since winning the Australian, and it may well have been Rafter's after the US Open, is that they weren't quite able to recapture the appetite, the hunger Almost as if he had done so much in doing it that he's taken all this time, Korda, to get back. And so at a stage like this, setting 1-2 down against a rampant Rafter, really, ordinarily I wouldn't give Korda much chance now.
There's a nice ring to it, doesn't it? A rampant Rafter. A rampant Rafter ran around the ragged rocks.
Well, keeping it low, of course, just jagging the bottom edge of the racket under the volley, and Korda way offline.
Well, even the best can lose concentration and miss the sitter.
And it's a volley he's been playing particularly aggressively. Last year he was certainly playing it a lot, but not quite as hard as he's been doing. And there, as you say, I think just taking his mind off the point. Well, didn't he learn quickly from his mistakes? It was virtually the same volley, and this time it's far more punishing.
And kept the concentration for the easy put away. Well, he's showing us the full range of his volleying skills now.
Yes, and Korda's face taking an almost a scary look as Rafter plays this sort of tennis.
Korda's first double fault of the match. Maybe he was noticing the hour mark. And people trying to keep themselves nice and cool.
Yes, trying to keep themselves nice and cool, and probably pretending they're sort of Rafter with his volleying skills, you know, and doing a forehand wave and a backhand wave with those little light fans of theirs. We can but dream. There we go. Jesus played one.
Our excellent backup staff, production staff, have provided everything apart from someone to come and fan you and I. Ah, it's even a Mercedes Super 9 fan, I see.
Well, Rafter knows he's onto something here. It's a little untidy from Korda. The tidiest thing about him are his shoes. I've never seen for a long time a pair of virtually clean white shoes.
Yes, pristine white, the Korda shoes, in total contrast to Magnus Larsson in the first quarter-final, who was in psychedelic yellow.
Well, people sometimes ask me, you know, where can they come across some Stan Smith shoes, because they used to be solid white. Well, here you are. Ask Korda where he gets his.
I used to play with Stan Smith shoes for many years, playing on the junior tour. What was his nickname, Stan? The Leaning Tower of Pasadena, wasn't it?
I didn't hear that one. Certainly came from Pasadena.
And that great win over Eddie Nastasi in Wimbledon final of 72, I think. The last one in which they didn't have chairs to sit on. Well caught, madam.
Not only that, she caught it in her purse.
But what does she do? I don't think she's got a pitching arm to get it back to the court.
Well, of course, in baseball, they can keep the ball. She's thinking about it. She's hoping they'll forget all about it.
Korda's staying in touch, but only just. He's clinging on to Rafter's coattails. The Australian lead by a set and 3-2. Of the quarterfinals, let's see how the first of the quarterfinals today finished. It was an all-Swedish encounter, and Thomas Johansson had dropped the first set 6-4 to Magnus Larsson, and Larsson wrapped it up by taking a second set tiebreak by 7 points to 2. Magnus Larsson through, the first man into the semis, and he awaits the winner of tonight's match between Pete Sampras and Vince Spadea, which we'll be showing you tomorrow evening, 6 o'clock UK time, 7 Central European time. And if it's Sampras and Larsson always wins through.
Yes, he certainly has a good record against Sampras, and you feel up for it. He came from a set down against Jonas Bjorkman, so he's beaten a couple of Swedes this week.
Now then, that ball that went into the crowd, this is what happened as the lady tried to throw it back. Oh dear. Landed in some of the sponsors' courtside seats. I hope he didn't do too much damage. Rafter serving at 3-2. I don't think she's going to make it to the Cincinnati Reds somehow.
No, although there'll be a few comments about, you know, some of them are pitching a little bit like her this year.
Korda's got something in his eye, poor fella. Probably just an eyelash or something like that. Rafter's taking a little break, but he's perfecting his ball skills, I see.
It's a pity he can't relax.
He's right underneath our little go cam there. I wonder if we can get a close-up of Patrick Rafter. There we are. Coming out to serve 3-2, second set. It's a terrific point from both of them.
Well, it's a point that really should have been a lot shorter than it was, because how on earth Rafter got to that? He's relaxed sitting on the linesman's chair 1 minute and then flying through the air like a trapeze artist the next. I guess if you're one of so many children, you learn to fight and scramble and dive about.
Yeah, Rafter, the third youngest of 9 kids. But coming from Mount Isa, which is very much in the outback of Queensland, I suppose there wasn't too much else to do.
Nice injection of pace by Korda there.
Well, Rafter for a moment was walking to the chair, thinking he'd held serve. In fact, he's just gone for his stringerling as the return heads the line.
It'll be pointless him walking to the chair, because it'd be 3-all or 4-2 to Rafter, so he wouldn't be changing ends. But I thought I got enough of the line. But I've seen players do that, just make the move as if to encourage the umpire to make the call.
Just a third double. And Korda has the second break point of the match.
Well, he certainly had the chance, Rafter coming inside the volley, not hitting it quite as pacily, and Korda's reaction. He'd gone for the killer blow straight at Rafter, top of the net.
Korda down, but certainly not out.
Well, it's a good, I thought, saving volley by Rafter, but just look at this, and that's about as fast as you can hit a ball. This is an Australian Open forehand.
Korda's right back in it. He breaks the Rafter serve for the first time. It's 3-all.
Well, if you've just played one wonderful shot virtually like that, why not try another? And Rafter, I suppose, paying the penalty for missing the first serve just a bit too often at the end of that game.
Well, Korda's had two of his own, so football skills from Peter Korda. Hangs out his tongue. He knows he was close, but that's Korda. Goes for it.
Well, it's magnificent play now by Korda, because the forehand's in full swing, isn't it? Full flight. Just can't miss on it. And it's the shot which, of the two, can be a little more ragged.
I think what's so appealing about this match is the rich variety of stroke play. We've seen the wonderful athleticism on the volley and also some fine ground stroke rallies.
Well, I think he'd want to encapsulate these last couple of games in terms of his forehand. Just magnificent stroke play. It always seems that much more sweet too from a left-hander somehow.
Korda's coming on strong. He's turned this second set around. Rafter did lead 3-1. But now it's Korda who leads by 4 games to 3. We're back on serve. Let's now show you the way the second of the quarterfinals ended. Yevgeny Kavelnikov was up against his doubles partner, Daniel Vacek. 6-4. Kavelnikov won the first set, and he took the second by the same margin. So Kavelnikov awaits the winner. Ivanisevic at one stage leading 4-1 and love 40 on the Korda serve in this set. He's had match point. But now it's Korda who's serving for the match.
Well, I think Korda's got a bit of a string going, and Ivanisevic, of course, has got a mental string that I think has gone, and I think part of it was too much discussion with the umpire.
Oh, and Korda's done his knee.
But I think we'll find that
Oh, and what a winner at the end of a sensational point. And Peter Korda breaks, and now he'll serve for the match. Magical stuff. Well, Ivanisevic must wonder what on earth's going on out there, but what a point.
Well, I'm sure both of them saw their whole tennis careers played out in front of during the course of this rally. I started counting at one stage, 34 strokes I made it. And of course the point was that Korda actually held back initially until he'd won the point, and then he let all hell break loose. Wonderful. Ivanisevic, generally in those situations, is a very clever character because he can just steer the ball back. He likes that slice backhand and loves to test himself with long rallies. And what I so much liked about it was the fact that Korda was much more restrained than he usually is. Normally he likes firing very early off in a rally, and yet he played along with Ivanisevic, and it was more likely Korda who was going to take the ultimate risk, and it was either going to be a winner or a loser.
Well, Goran is 40, and now he's got a great chance of winning, indeed, unless Ivanisevic does get his brain in gear again and his game. You've got to say that Korda's going to win this match. Five all, final set. It will be a tiebreak if it goes to 6 all, of course.
Well, suddenly a bit of despair. He pulled his serving together at Wimbledon. Prior to that, really, his second serve had gone to the dogs.
Oh, dear me.
Holy smoke.
Oh. And Ivanisevic special comes back with interest.
116 miles of left-handed swing.
And Korda's suddenly inspired. And that's, what, 8 points in a row?
Plus.
For 5 all.
30 love.
Well, Ivanisevic temporarily to pieces, but his serve can soon put him back on track, of course.
Well, it is extraordinary. Korda looked dead and buried, frankly, at 1-4 love. Well played, Ivanisevic. As Korda threw everything into that service return.
15-40.
Not the greatest of volleys, but a good low volley, and then just lifted a bit by Korda. And now, of course, he wants the same ball if he can possibly get his hands on it.
30 seconds.